Did you restart the game?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So bear with
All
me.
right, let's go.
We do have Minimoult's picture, so at least we won't be staring at blank faces.
Sorry.
We do have Minimoult's picture, so we won't be staring at blank faces, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a beautiful Minimoult versus the faceless Optimus.
I do like how this picture, Minimoult, is very much like it's like he's going for a job interview. That's how smart, he wants us to depict
Yeah,
himself.
yeah. Yeah, indeed. Completely agree.
Right.
So like he just got the interview and he's just going for it.
Oh, the screen overlay is being a bit.
And also, just if you want to know, the first game is Portuguese versus Lakota, and he's playing on Portugal.
Excellent. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Can't find it at the moment. Oh, maybe we can.
You got it?
Yep. Loading it up.
All right, nice. So also just make sure you will use the green screen for the UI and also the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm learning. Slowly.
Should have put Optimus Prime Transformer picture. Yeah, that could be done as well.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah, we have to work on that for the next time.
Okay, so Minimoult is playing as Lakota and Optimus is playing as Portugal. Not a matchup you see very often. So
Yeah, it's really interesting. I guess it's due to the fact that I mean this map has uh, 5 trade posts and also has a water. I guess Portuguese could work, I would say.
Right, okay, we'll kick off, and if you let me know if there's any issues with the overlay, please do.
Yeah, sure. It looks fine.
Good stuff. Okay, so in the south of the map, we have Minimoult playing as Lakota, and in the north of the map, we have Optimus playing as Portugal. Hopefully the lag won't be too bad. There's a little bit of jitteriness. I think that's just the way of these recorded games at the moment. They've just been playing up. I never normally have this issue. But maybe we'll get the recorded games after this, depending on how long this takes. So let's see. What do we predictions then, Jaeger? What do we think is going to happen here?
I would say that Mini will try to probably apply pressure because he doesn't want to give Optimus the time that he needs to set up the TP and also go for the water, because I mean that's both of the options that Portuguese player could go, and that can be prevented easily by some H2 pressure with the Axe Riders and also some clubs and set on those. But it's really interesting that Minimoult went for the Age 1 Hunting Dog, Market, and TP, and also the trade post.
Going very greedy.
Yeah, he is being greedy indeed, yeah.
This is one of the things about Lakota at the moment. Like I was saying, along with China, they are considered probably the best, the highest tier at the moment in the game. They get this insane start. They get, the 200 wood at the beginning of the game, and people will say that's not really. It's not really 200 wood. It's basically plus 300 wood, because unlike every other civilization, they need to build a house, whilst Lakota don't. So they're essentially starting with 300 wood, in comparable to other civilizations. So we've got some greedy play here. I think Ports would be silly not to go for the water play here. I think that's realistically their only option. Lakota, they have decent eco now. He's going for the early hunting dog. So is Optimus. Um, yeah, and then getting that early TP, they're just able to get so many units out on the map at such an early stage. It's going to be very difficult for ports to hold off their kind of power spike. Since the latest patch, I've seen Lakota do kind of H2 rush. I've seen them semi FF. I've even played against FIs with against Lakota. So yeah, they definitely have a lot of options. So we'll see what Minimoult's going to do. And comparing to Minimoult's other games that he's played this series, there's nothing I don't think is out of the bag with regards to what his build order is going to be here.
Yeah, I guess you're right as well. And I mean, I'm just okay. So we got his deck. He has so he has the anti-water deck as well. I mean, just for the H2 card, it's not really that anti-water deck, but he has the 3 pirate ship on H2. He has the Axe Rider support card, which they get 20% HP, and as for the H2, he has the 3 trade post wagon. That's interesting. So I suppose Mini is just trying to get H3 and just go for the stagecoach himself. So that's going to be 4 trade posts for him. That's going to be massive.
That is a really good shout. And like I was just about to say, Minimoult has clearly done a huge amount of research on all of these maps. Everything he's done has been very meticulous and very like right down to the T. Like all his build orders have been like immaculate. So he clearly, like I said, he's done his research on all the maps. He knows exactly what he wants to do with exactly which civilization. And I think going for free TPs on this map would be a very wise decision, because you only have to up this TP once, and then all of these TPs, all 6 of them, are going to have stagecoach. Not to mention that you're actually able to obtain all of the TPs. Like there's not a TP that's too close to someone's town center. So if Minimoult can get all of the TPs on this map, that would be really, really good and really, really strong eco. And I mean, it would leave Optimus in a really awkward position as to how he can contest it.
Yeah, that would be definitely a really nice decision by him, and I actually like the decision that he's making, as you said, also inside the games. So it's really nice. Just like studying the map just gives you so much advantage toward the other player. If let's say the other player hasn't done the map study himself, but yeah, I mean, based on what we have seen so far, Mini is just doing so much better in terms of like map control, unit decisions, strategies, deck selections. It's just really interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen such pristine build orders, I don't think, in many tournaments. So Mini is really looking like a favourite to actually take this. We have seen some new build orders. However, I think people like to stick to their strengths. However, it looks like Minimoult, after doing his research and after practicing these build orders, he's just confident enough to really go for it, and it's really great to see, because like that French game that we saw, no one's ever seen anything like that, especially with the new natives. No one has ever seen anything like that. And it's difficult to play against, because if you haven't seen it before and you don't expect it, how can you prepare for it? So yeah, Minimoult just really feeling really confident, really feeling himself with these new build orders that we've seen, and taking full advantage of them. Doesn't look like we're going to see the free TPs at the moment. He is going for an early war hut. Like I said, Lakota have so many options at the moment. They can rush, they can boom, they can semi-FF. Looks like we're going to see some early H2 play from Lakota here. Shipping in the 4 Axe Riders, maybe going to make some clubs or bowmen.
He could go for either of them, but at the moment, I guess he's just trying to pick up some info on the map, and also see if Optimus is going for a stable, going for a barracks, and then after that decide if he wants to go for the clubs or if he wants to go for the serons. But surely he will be scouting the dock that is being placed on the top side of the map, and I suppose he will be using the Axe Riders to uh, maybe just cause some damage to the dock, or even just add some clubs to make sure the the dock will be destroyed.
Yeah, so Optimus, let's have a quick look at Optimus because we are being a bit biased over here and having a look too much on Mini. So aging up with 400 wood. Second TC is going to be right next to the first. Going quite, wow, that's a very eco. Going Spice Trade first card, especially considering he's opening with a dock, is, yeah, it looks like he's going for kind of similar to like the Haudenosaunee, how they get kind of 4, 5, 6 boats out with one dock. Looks like ports are going to try and do that as well. Maybe force a big response from an overly big response from Mini on the water, whilst in actual fact, you know, he's got still a very good boom on the land with Spice Trade. Does have a market as well. We saw that early hunting dogs. Doesn't have barracks at the moment. Is trying to get that stable up, but yeah, this really early Lakota shipment, like we've seen from Lakota so much recently, really just delaying this stable and keeping his villagers inside is absolutely huge.
Yeah, he's just delaying him by so much. But soon, I guess he will have the second TC there, which is going to be a really hard position for Lakota to maneuver because I mean that's going to be two shots on your axe rider or any sort of cavalry or unit that you send forward.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could just double check if when they play their games, if they could send the recordings in, just because that might help if we can get a recording as opposed to going. Because I don't think the lag issue is going to be sorted anytime soon, no matter what options we do. So yeah, if we could try and get the recordings, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that picking off another villager, picking off the explorer. Sorry. So that's going to be a nice little 45 XP boost for Minimoult. This stable still hasn't gone up. So Optimus is really left a bit stranded here. He does have the 2 TCs like like Jaeger was saying, so that is going to be somewhat difficult to just kind of dive in. And doesn't it like Mini's making many units at the moment? Okay, so he's starting to make some club warriors. Not sure what Club Warriors is going to achieve. Maybe he's seen the stable and just wants to make some Club Warriors to counter that. Maybe he wants to look at trying to take the dock down. It'd be difficult to pick much else off. Could maybe pick this house and mark it off. There's no TPs to take down. So yeah, so these Club Warriors might not get too much use. Has made one here, but maybe that was a mistake of not making the entire batch. So maybe a little bit of miss macro by Mini there. Very unlike Mini.
Actually, I feel he just placing it there just to have the vision of the map constantly. Is just trying to zone Optimus as much as possible. He's not trying to give him any space whatsoever. As you can see, he's just maneuvering with one axe rider and one club on the right side of the map just to zone the Portuguese to not have any settlers, any units, anything to move aside from their TC. So as soon as he has that position, I guess he will be safe to go for the whole TP line, which is going to be really massive.
Yeah, maybe that's his kind of end goal here, is to establish some land superiority, and then once he's done that and he's kept Optimus in his little bubble here, he's going to go for the TP line and really try and boom off the back of that. He is already going for another TP, so 700 wood has just been shipped, so maybe we'll see TP Stagecoach, and maybe we'll see 3 TPs come out now. I think that would be really great synergy there if we did see the TP Stagecoach with the 3 TP shipment. And there it is. So I think we're both right, Jaeger. Yeah, so that's a good shout on that. Definitely going to be difficult for Optimus to deal with it. He's only really just got his stable up for the last minute or so. You know, might be able to get 3 Hussars out if he's lucky. Yeah, got a church for some XP. Yeah, I think he's struggling here, to be honest with you. That early Lakota shipment was really good.
Yeah, he's just really struggling, and soon, as soon as those hunts are finished, he will be even under more pressure because he has to try to find a space to walk out and try to get some hunts in, herd them in. But as I said earlier, Mini is just trying to prevent him from any sort of maneuver on the map,
Yeah, really.
and he is doing it really nicely.
Yeah, I agree. Really positioning his units really well. Just having maximum amount of scouting possibility on the map. Knows that there's no. If we take a quick look at Mini, yeah, has really done his scouting. Knows that there's nothing other than this herd here. There's nothing else at the back really. This herd is the only one he needs to be careful of. He's got full sight of these. So yeah, hasn't seen the dock, however. So that could be a little bit troublesome. Doesn't see the dock. However, I don't think Optimus actually has schooners in his deck, so he's probably not actually that worried about the boat boom. And to be honest with you, if you scouted someone and you didn't see that they had schooners that weren't in their deck, you probably wouldn't be worried either. So yeah, that's interesting. 3 Hussars out. Gonna try and do something here, but not really. Other than Villager Micro, there's not really much that these 3 Hussars are gonna do. Not sure about the opening stable. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if that was the right choice there, but I mean, as you can see, he can't really do much either with those hussars. He's just going back and forth. There is not many settlers there, and at the same time, the clubs are just maneuvering next to the coastline. So he's Mini is just trying to prevent him from any sort of possible raids as well, unless he just Optimus just try to sneak out the hussars and try to find the path and eventually try to get some settlers. But look at this. Full trade posts, 5 trade posts, and oh my god, that's something.
It is. Not to mention, he's also denying Optimus from this herd here and taking down 2 villagers, I believe. So, yeah, really great pickup from Minimoult. And that's what we was talking about earlier, just, maximizing the scouting ability on the map, making sure that Optimus just completely denying him of any herds. Optimus is on 32 villagers, which isn't too bad, considering whilst Lakota is on 22 villagers. However, yeah, I mean, he's just got full stagecoach now, and that's really going to pay off in huge amounts of dividends for him. The boat boom may be an option for Optimus. The longer it goes undiscovered could be a problem in the long run for Minimoult. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think he's too worried about a water boom. Looks like Optimus is going to be macroing for the Fortress Age. Might have actually liked to seen a standard FF from Portugal. I think if we saw what you don't see very often as well is they have a decent FF. They can get up for free most times because they have 2 TCs. You ship the 700 gold, you ship 700 wood, and you can get out Castadors and Halberdiers, which I think would be a great combination in this matchup. It would certainly deny the TPs early on. And yeah, but however, Optimus has decided to go for more of an eco Fortress Age, eco FF, if you will. So yeah, so that's what he's decided to do. It would be interesting to see what his unit comp is going to be. Musketeers, Castadors, Hussars, maybe some goons mixed in as well. Yeah, I still think they're going to have a hard time though, because I think Mini is really going to catch up and score and potentially overtake in the very near future.
I was wondering if you can just turn off the fog of war and see how is the how is the vision work on each player. I'm pretty sure Mini can see the whole map except for the water at the moment. Oh my god, look at Opti. He's just completely blind to everything that is going on inside the map. And yeah, exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah, so that's a really good point about that fog of war, and that really shows you the kind of scouting ability that he's allowed himself. And this is the problem when you turtle with any civilization really. You're always blind generally, and you always rely on whether it's TC fire, outposts, forts, whatever it might be, and you're never knowing what the opponent is going to make. So that's one of the disadvantages of playing very turtly in this game. Whilst if you're Minimoult, you're almost playing as the predator here, and you can almost make whatever you like, yeah, doing it very effectively as well. Stay in Age 2 though. Do we think that could be much of an issue? Going to be Stay in Age 2? Doesn't look like he's going to be aging up any time soon, unless he's shipped gold. Which completely ignore me. Looks like he may actually be going for the edge up anyway.
I mean, he has 5 TP, so that's something. And also he's trying to get the, if I'm not mistaken, that's the House of Bourbon. So he's trying to get that. He can get some nice musketeer, and also there is another unit, if I'm not mistaken, called Royal Dragon. So it's just like a regular dragon with better stats, but it will be opened and enabled on age 3. So I guess it's just taking it for the moment. So maybe he can use the big button upgrade from that, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it will increase all of his cavalry and infantry unit movement speed by decent amount. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure really what's the intention behind that.
There's also a couple of really nice texts that I like from here as well. Like, for example, this one, it grants like...
Yeah, the XP ones.
It's absolutely
the
huge.
XP text is just really huge.
Absolutely huge. There's a couple of others as well, like this one. It probably not going to be that great for Lakota, but there's other civilizations like Sweden, for example. This is a really great tech because Sweden obviously go for max torps, and Brits, you know, for all their manners, etc. So yeah, Bourbon is a really, really strong option. These musketeers are nice as well. They're decent musketeers. You've obviously got the dragoons as well, which is a great option as well. Looks like we're going to see a bit of action here. Some Hussars versus musketeers. Minutemen popping out now for Optimus as well. He's literally just aged. He's got his covered wagon. Looks like it's a really good moment for Minimoult to just dive in here.
Oh god, this is a really massive fight. It's just... And also the TC wagon is also walking toward that point, and I'm not sure if Optimus just pulled the TC wagon back, or yeah, I guess he just pulled it back and he realized he cannot place it there. But at the same time, there are some bull riders there that they are struggling to find their path in, and this is a big chaos. The Minutemen is still alive there, and they're just taking a free shot on all of those infantry, which is not really wise. I guess this is not... I would say it was more better for Optimus. I mean, this fight, it went more towards his advantage, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think it was, other than lag, which is killing me.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a terrible fight for Optimus. I don't think it was a terrible fight for either, because I know Minimoult's got the eco to back it up, and he's definitely going to be transitioning his composition now, maybe into different units to what he had. So it's not a terrible fight for either side, but if I had to choose which one came better off, I'd probably say Optimus. So yeah, I somewhat agree. Again, having that defender's advantage, getting the double Minutemen, you know, it's always difficult when you're pushing in. So yeah, so that wasn't a bad fight for either, but Optimus came quite well off there. If you do look at the score though, it's relatively even, and if you're Portuguese and your level score with Lakota, you know you're kind of in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Actually, meanwhile, maybe you can just try to turn off the fog of war. Maybe that sort out the issue for the lag that we are getting. I don't know. Maybe it solves it. Maybe not. Hopefully, it solves it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not really sure. I mean, I've got a 3060 Ti, you know, and all sorts, so it's definitely not my spec.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what is this coming from. It's just really annoying.
Do we think it's something to do with the Ace spec mod?
I don't suppose so. It's just a really weird thing. Because at the moment I have the game running as well for the live casting.
Yeah.
I mean the live game going, and it's just lagging here and there, which is... I don't get what's the reason behind that.
Okay, so
Just
your
really
game
annoying.
is doing similar to this when you put it live.
Yeah, it's just doing the same. Yeah, it's just...
Well,
I don't know. I mean, know what's the issue.
That's good to hear from my end, so I know it's not my end that it's doing it to. It must be something to do with the game mode then, and that's why I asked it. You know, if we can try and ensure that we get the recorded games next, because
I guess
this isn't good for us or for the viewers. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. I did notice that Optimus, I believe, had shipped... oh, no, he didn't ship 2 caravels. Okay, maybe he just made a caravel then, which looks like he has done. Just wanted to protect some water. That's going to be a nice little pick-off, just taking that TP down. Looks like he's just out of range of that coral, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I don't think Minimoult is really particularly interested in trying to contest the water at this stage. I mean, he's got what, 4, 8? Yeah, I mean, 12 boats, maybe 13 boats. You know, it's nothing to scoff at, but it's probably not something that Minimoult wants to invest his resources and time into. Looks like Optimus is pushing out now. This is got some halberdiers, got some cazadors, and a little bit of cab. This could be a really good kind of tempo shift for Optimus here if he utilizes it as well as he can. Quite a lot of cav out. These halberdiers is going to be a really nice reinforcing shipment. They're also going to have really nice siege, which is going to make short work of this war hut. We'll see what Minimoult's response is. He's actually going industrial, using the wise woman to go to industrial. So he's going to get to industrial quickly, I believe. Oh no, it's the wise woman.
He gets the bison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the messenger, isn't it? I think it's the quick one.
Yeah, the messenger is the fast agent.
So he's going for industrial. That is allowing Optimus, however, to capitalize on that and kind of take some bit of the map back. It is going to also allow his villagers, which are all crowded around all of these berries, to push out on the map, retake this herd over here, potentially retake this herd over here, which is somewhat defended by this caravel. So Optimus capitalizing on the fact that Minimoult is aging up really, really well. Is it going to be enough to really do any lasting damage? I'm not sure. He needs to be really careful about these trading posts. Does he now decide to go into the base, or does he decide to go for these TPs? That's what would be going through my head. And personally, I would be coming all the way, probably up here, or maybe even up here, which is a bit safer, to try and take down these TPs and retake the TP for myself. That would be what would be going through my brain process. However, I'm not anywhere near as good as these two players, so we'll see what they both do.
Yeah, it seemed like all the tempo from Mini is gone for the time being, at least. It seemed like Optimus is trying to apply so much pressure. I mean, maybe that's because Mini is just aging up. He's just waiting for the age up to arrive, and also he's training Teshunke, so they will be shadow taking into age 4, which is going to be really nice. So 4 Teshunke is already in the queue. I'm pretty sure he will just make it 5, and then I wonder how he will use it, because at the moment there's no artillery there, so he can just stealth the Teshunke and just place them straight away on the cazadors, while the halberdiers and the goons are just focusing on the other units.
So something to mention, reinforcing halberdiers and goons coming in, which I definitely think is the right option. Macro looking really good, actually. And if we take a quick look at the villagers, 65 villagers. Now, I know Minimoult has the TP line, but 65 villagers is good. Is pretty good eco at this stage of the game, considering how he's been locked up essentially in his TC this whole time. So this could still be Optimus's game. Scores pulled away a little bit. I think Minimoult is definitely going to have to make sure he relies on really good shipments here. Looks like he might be macroing for the big button. You know what that means. I think looks like the 15-minute mark is going to come in, and I think that's when he's going to want to take it. These Teshunke just hiding here in plain sight.
Okay, all right.
Everyone's completely blind, and these guys can literally be transparent, so that's really nice. He does want to wait for the big button, though. Oh, he's decided to go for it. Okay, he's decided to go for it.
Okay, I mean that's a good spot, to be honest, because he can't catch those cazadors. Now you can see he's just forced to move the cazadors, but at the same time those halberdiers are
halberdiers
taking out all of the cavalry like a butter. At the same time, the revolt card basically for Lakota is dropping in, which is going to be giving 7 clubs, 7 setons, and 7 Wakinas, and upgrade all of them into champion level for free. But I guess we just have to wait and see how well Mini will be using that shipment, because those are a lot of units from Optimus at the same time.
Yeah, I think if he times this really well, hasn't gone for the big button. He's deciding to go for the rifle riders, no, axe riders. Okay, Interesting. This is a really strong card, like you was just mentioning. That's a really big power spike just come in now. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get everything timed right. And I feel like Mini kind of was a bit preemptive in going in for that fight there. I don't really think he needed to take that quite as desperately as he did. And it's really allowed Optimus to get back into the game. Talking about villager count, Lakota are only on, even though they've got the entire TP line,
24.
only on 24. And if we take another look over at Optimus now, he's now up to 72. Essentially got 4 TCs when you take into the consideration the dock. This is really, really nice play by Optimus. And I think now he's got to realise that he needs to take down these TPs. And if he can do so, and even take the TPs for himself, he's going to be in a really, really strong position.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at like if you consider the early map control and the pressure that Mini had over the map, and compare it to right now with this position, you can see that Optimus did a really nice job stalling the game.
Yeah, it's almost come out of nowhere as well, isn't it? It stemmed from that fight that Minimoult took here as soon as Optimus went up to age 3, and Minimoult kind of came off worse. It was certainly a good trade for Optimus, like we discussed, and I think again that's allowed Optimus, to snowball back into this game and give him some tempo, because Minimoult, not only did he take a bad trade here, he decided to go for the Industrial Age as well, which may cost him this game, but there's still time to tell, so we'll see how this evolves. Industrial Age coming for ports here now. The Tycoon.
Right.
What does the Tycoon provide?
Can't really recall, to be honest.
That'll be interesting to see what that provides. I'm sure someone in chat will notify you. Optimus is starting to go for some meals now as well. It looks like he's going to struggle for gold.
It's going to be 1k coin.
1k coin.
It's going to be 1k coin.
I think that's a good option. Actually, because I did just think, he's struggling to. It looks like he's still struggling to maintain the map, and that's purely because he has no kind of foundations out on the map other than inside his little base here. So he really needs to get access to these gold mines here. He really, really wants access to these gold mines here. So he does still have a silver mine in the back of his base, but if he can use that gold shipment to really just mass as many units as possible, and then take the map, take control of these gold mines, take control of these TPs, he'll be in a winning position.
Yeah, clearly, but overall you can see that Mini is really having a nice master, and at the same time his big button of Royal March is ready. He can use that, which he will be getting additional movement speed for all of his units, and it's going to be really useful, to be honest, if you consider the next big fight that is going to happen. That's going to be really useful if he time it right.
Yeah, so it's funny. We might actually be seeing the kind of inverse of what happened about 5 minutes ago, where Optimus capitalized on the fact that Minimoult was going to Industrial, and capitalized by snowballing himself. However, now it looks like we might have the opposite here, where Optimus is going for the Industrial and actually doesn't have as many units out on the field that Minimoult does. So maybe Minimoult's now going to capitalize on that fact. So we've got the Uno reverse going on here. Really nice raid coming in, and if he can back that up with the rest of his... Where's the rest of his soldiers? Okay, he's going back, so he doesn't want this to be go time. He just wants to try and get a little raid in here. I do think it would be a good idea for go time. I do think if these units were here, he would have a good time. Denying him this side of the map is really, really important. Optimus does have access to the water though. We've obviously got the infinite gold mine, the whales producing gold. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it would have been a good opportunity for him to be in there, but he decided to take his units back, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe he was a little bit worried about these hussars. However, going to try and retake this TP back. That was a nice pickup by Optimus. Optimus now into the Industrial Age, going for a factory first. I would like to see Order of Avis, and I really like the rework that they did to this, to the Goon card that gives them extra range. Not really something you see very much these days, I have to say. Part in due for, you know, Portuguese not really being an overly popular civ. However, you know, it's not as good as it used to be on Legacy. So, yeah, I'd enjoy seeing that and seeing some good old-fashioned, really long-range goons again. Bourbon reforms are coming in now for Optimus's side. So really utilising that in Industrial Age to make sure he's got plenty of cards. And no doubt we'll see Robber Barons next and probably Order of Viz. Order of Viz is coming in.
That was a lot of XP. Holy.
Yeah, that's the power of that Bourbon's card. And like we discussed,
God.
it's absolutely huge. I think it's even better than Mercantilism. Considering Mercantilism costs a lot of gold and the Bourbon tech costs, what, 900 resources in total? So, yeah.
Yeah.
A very, very strong tech and use of the Bourbon allies. Could even actually just start building stuff from there as well. To be honest with you, getting some of these veteran Royal Dragoons would be a really good shout as well. Needs everything he can get. And oh, he's going to lose his... is that going to get popped? Oh, it's being blocked by the villagers as well. The Puffin. It goes down. Huge pickup. Huge pickup for Minimoult.
That was a blunder, I would say, by Optimus. He should have spawned it on the other TC, which is in a safer spot.
I totally
don't know, maybe
agree.
he didn't pay attention to it, but yeah, that's a huge loss. Like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
A free factory, basically. A free factory went down.
Mini's got to be feeling himself after that. So yeah, a little bit of a mess up by Optimus there. Was obviously too busy with the push that was coming in and forgot to send the shipment to a safer TC. Is bringing in Tower Militia now. Town Militia. So decided to cancel everything else and think, right, he thinks it's go time, so I need to show him who's boss. No doubt we're going to see plenty of Minutemen coming in.
He was getting raided by a bit, but it wasn't that much. But yeah, he's just pulling back the Hussars back to the center of the map. And then now he is going to... I mean, he's just holding the mass. As you can see, everything is just sitting at behind of their base. And meanwhile, Mini is just using the siege ceremony. Sorry, you shouldn't say dance anymore. It's not right. But yeah, he's using the siege ceremony to increase the siege attack of his units. And I would say actually the position of his Volcano is not really in a good spot. I'm not sure why Optimus is not using any sort of hussars. It can really cause some trouble for Mini if he does that. Oh god, those settlers! Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Big devastation going on there. However, I think if Optimus can hold this, he's still on 83 villagers, so he's definitely got the eco advantage over Mini, even though Mini has all the TPs. So yeah, if he can hold this, I think Optimus has got a really good chance of winning this. He's still up on score, so this really is go time for Mini. Even though he picked off the factory for free, he really needs to get a convincing win here. I really like the Town Militia card that was shipped as well, because if you look, there's 20 Minutemen out on the map right now. Not only are they going to do serious amounts of damage, but they're going to cause lots of pathing problems for all the cav just because they create lots of choke points. So yeah, this is a really, really nice play by Optimus here. It's kind of too early to tell who's winning, but if Minimoult is going to win, I'm not sure it's going to be by a convincing enough margin. We are playing in slow-mo here. Oh, this is painful.
Yeah, I'm exactly at the same spot, and I'm having the same thing. I guess it's just the trouble with the live game.
We need the recording. We need recordings.
Yeah, we need the record game. It's just not working. I don't know if it's the server that they are playing or...
I think it's just a bug that happens sometimes, and unfortunately, you know, it just is what it is. But yeah, okay, wow. So, you know, I mean, Minimoult hasn't even won this battle. There's still plenty of Minutemen out on the field. And the Town Militia card was really the trick up Optimus's sleeve, and that was a really, really great use of that card, especially when there's 3 TCs or 2 TCs still out on the map. So even at 20 minutes almost in the game, you know, using Town Militia is still a good card. So yeah, really well played by Optimus there. Minimoult still got some units, but it's just not going to be enough. And even with these TPs, it's looking difficult. I mean, Optimus is on 82 vils. Minimoult is, if it lets us switch, Minimoult is on 26 villagers. Yeah, that's not a lot of villagers considering it's 20 minutes into the game. Minimoult's going to be struggling with the eco here, I think.
Are those settlers that are walking toward the coast?
Yes.
Oh god.
Wow. I mean, Optimus does not even care at this point. He's just like, right, I know it's right next to your base, but this herd's mine. I don't even care anymore. He does.
Imagine just using the bisons as well.
Yeah, he does have like boats where these villagers can be garrisoned in. So I think that's what he's using as the kind of failsafe if he gets raided. So
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's
he did have a caravel which went down. Oh no, sorry, tell a lie, it's here. So he can garrison in the caravel as well. No doubt Minimoult will see that. I mean, he's even, look how brave he's getting. I think Minimoult's seen it, and Minimoult's trying to herd it away, look.
Oh god, is he trying to... Oh,
But that's brilliant.
why did he kill that Honto?
I'm not sure if, you know, the wise woman where you get the herd, can that even be herded away, or do they kind of just stay put?
I don't think the bisons that you get with Lakota, they can't be herded, so they just do whatever they want.
Okay. So he's going to try and herd away what he can. He has...
Oh, the axe raiders are coming in?
Yeah, it doesn't want to lose these villagers for free, to be honest with you. The caravel is going to be really slow, and I'm not really sure why the caravel wasn't there sooner. Bit of a bizarre play by Optimus there. To be honest with you, it's still a bit of a drop in the ocean. He's on 82 vills, but he doesn't want to lose 8 villagers for free. I mean, you know, that's what... at this stage, it's what, 7 or 8% of his economy? You know, it's nothing to scoff at, so he really doesn't want to lose them for free.
Yeah, and meanwhile he's sending a fort wagon that is... I'm not sure where is it going to place it. Probably toward the right side of the map, where it's... because, I mean, by the look of it, he has a really nice and solid control over the water, so I don't think he need any sort of water control on the top left side. So I guess he's either going for the center or just going for the right side next to his base. So I guess we are about to see.
I would really like to see a fort around here. So right around here. I mean, he could be very greedy and try and put it down here and control both, but he's going to struggle to get it up. So I think if he can try and place a fort around here within touching distance of this gold mine, he'll have access to this 5,000 resources, which would be really great. Maybe he's going to want to play it safer, maybe put it just down here, and then have access to this silver mine for free, but we'll have to wait and see how greedy he wants to be with this fort.
Yeah, surely. But in terms of, I mean, if we look at in terms of resources, Optimus is looking really healthy at the moment. Meanwhile, Mini's Zorda struggling with the amount of settlers that he has, but at the same time he still has the fifth trade post. So I guess that's trying to keep him alive for now.
Yeah, the TP line has really been the only thing that's keeping him going. And to be honest with you, I really was so surprised by how well Optimus just kind of came out of nowhere into this game. You know, he's been constantly producing villagers, constantly producing boats this entire game. And yeah, he's just really played, you know, spectacularly here. It was looking really favoured for Minimoult at one point, and the scores were very even at one point. And like I said, if you're level score with Lakota, you know you're in problems. But yeah, he's just pulled away. He capitalised on the tempo early on in the game, and yeah, has just turtled himself in this corner the entire game, and has done really well for himself. I do think the water has been his saving grace. That has been a consistent gold and food trickle for him this entire game. And, you know, although at the start Minimoult hadn't scouted it and didn't really have a need to invest so heavily into deterring the water, I think, you know, that's come back to maybe bite him. And, yeah, I think it's time that he needs to try and do something about the water.
Yeah, at the moment, this is not really looking good for Mini in terms of the overall resources. I mean, you can see that the water is still there, and also at the same time the whales, I think they're going to be in the water. So as soon as the fish is finished, he can just switch over to the whales and just have a really safe water booming there because I mean Mini still has his H2 anti-water shipment that he can send, but I guess he really doesn't want to invest on it at the moment. But I mean he could potentially.
Yeah, a nice little pickup here by Mini. He did actually manage to kill that caravel, so that was really great micro by him. And that's going to be, what was it, 8 villagers or so that he gets picked up. So again, yeah, great pickup. Although even with all of them gone, Optimus is just, his village count's just going up and up and up, and he's almost going to be at 99 very soon. He doesn't have much out on the map to contest any kind of war canoes that were put out. So maybe that's an opportunity for Mini, although maybe Mini thinks that's far too much of an investment to try and tackle the water whilst, you know, he's still got a really nice eco out on land. Yeah, great play. Still has the TPs though, so you know he's not out of this yet. Is down 12k score, but you know this is Lakota we're dealing with, so anything can happen.
Yeah, surely. I mean, this is looking really. This is an interesting game. I don't know. I feel probably Optimus should be playing it a bit more aggressive and maybe start even walling the map. So if, I mean, just try to wall the map with like with the with the bastion walls. I guess he can just control the map easily because he can't do it at the moment. He has the mass, he has the economy, so he can do the map control easily as well.
Yeah, so I'm just going to speed up it a little bit. That looks a little bit nicer as well, actually. Almost like it's normal speed. So, yeah, not too much happening at the moment. I think you're right. I think Optimus should look at the score and think, actually, I don't want him to get back into the game. Maybe, I mean, there's no reason, there's no excuse why this TP should stay up. Like,
Exactly.
That should be taken down, you know. And then he could take that TP for himself. He could eventually creep up here and just you know, deny the TP line at the very least. I think he should be a bit more aggressive, like you said. There's no reason why he can't be. Maybe he's just a little bit worried about getting caught out, which is understandable against Lakota, because Lakota, you know, they have very strong units, and Tushunki and anything like that. Anything can happen with a Lakota fight. So I think he's just being very, very cautious. Doesn't want to lose this lead that he's got over Minimoult. So it's understandable, but you know, and it's easy for us to say in hindsight. However, I think
you know what's not understandable,
go on.
having all these units and buildings inside the game, and the game is just going super smooth at the moment. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I've actually gone on play fast, and it looks like it's working out much more effectively. So
yeah, I guess we just stick to this.
Maybe I'll just leave it on the play fast.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I guess everyone would just be fine with this speed, to be honest.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that fast than the normal
No,
game,
it doesn't.
I guess we just leave it there.
I'd say it looks like it's like kind of 1.3 speed, if anything. Like, it really doesn't look like that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess we just stick to it.
It's the only way we can get around the bug, isn't it?
A big fight is going to happen. It looked like Mini is just remassing and going toward the top side. I don't know what. Maybe he was just trying to kill those units that are sieging the trade posts, but no. Oh my god, that's a huge hussar mass.
That is a huge hussar mass. Using some of the native veteran royal dragoons as well, so that's really nice. Like we discussed earlier, you could build them. These are going to be caught out completely outguard, and there's barely any anti-cav.
No.
Oh wow, these hussars are just going to wreck. Guard hussars coming in.
Good.
Perfect timing.
Oh god. Oh god, that's a slaughter.
That's
a slaughter.
That is a hard slaughter, and I would not want to be there to clean up that mess. And yeah, Minimoult just completely banking.
That's gonna be a GG, right?
Yeah, this has got to be GG.
That's gonna be a GG.
Wow,
yeah.
Minimoult just completely banking on the fact that Optimus wouldn't be building any hussars, and yeah, before you know it, guard hussars are right in front of your face, and there's the GG. Yeah, wow, really well played to Optimus. Completely took us all by off guard, to be honest with you. I did not expect him to come back into that game.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought like by the time Mini had the 5 TP, and also he was, you see how hard he was zoning Optimus, but I'm just really surprised that the water paid off better than a 5 TP stagecoach. I don't know, like.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I think Optimus just really capitalized perfectly on his tempo opportunities. And it wasn't just the water, it was the villager count as well. He continually produced villagers. I think this berry bush that spawns here was really, there's thousands of food worth of resource there, and I think that was really influential for his turtle playstyle and allowed him to stay in the map and get as many of those kind of early halberdiers and castadors out as possible. And just pure, villager production just paid off in the end, and Minimoult took a couple of bad fights. Maybe it was a mistake for him to go industrial. I think that was the biggest mistake that he could have made. Just couldn't get back into the game. Did manage to get up to about 60 villagers at the end, but yeah, it was just too late by then. And if we take a quick look at resources gathered, yeah, I mean, the water was so important for Optimus there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, to be fair, I mean, let's just say what I think. Like, I mean, I personally think by the time that Mini had the control of over the land completely, he had the point that he could afford the H2 anti-water shipment, and those are outlaw units, so they will basically scale as you age up as well. So he could send those, and I guess he could just deny Optimus on the water, and at the same time he could use those warship to even attack the land as well. So I guess maybe he should have done that. Maybe that was the right move for him.
Yeah, I think it just went. I think it just fell apart ever since that fight that he took when Optimus literally just got up to age 3. I think ever since then it just went downhill, and I think Minimoult just made the wrong decisions, and yeah, it unfortunately caught up with him. It was looking really positive at the start. We got all those TPs really early on. He kept Optimus in his shell, and I think if this was an ordinary land map, then I think Minimoult would have had no problem taking this. But the water was really the saving grace. So well played to Optimus, and ports are very much regarded as the bottom tier civ at the moment in the game, and Lakota are known as being unbelievably lame and S++ tier. So anyone in chat that's considering playing Portuguese, there you go. It can work. It really can.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely a well played by Optimus. I mean we gotta give it to him. Like, even though Mini came up with the better deck and strategy for the map and also map control, but it seemed like the the amount of patience that Optimus had, even though he lost a factory for no reason. I mean, the factory wagon just dropped in and it just died for no reason. He just still stick to the game, played it patiently, and just pulled it back. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yep, absolutely great play, and that denies Mini playing as Lakota, which is regarded a very strong civ, and really really well played. Are we going straight ahead with the next game? Is it live?
Yeah. Well, the next game, gladly, we have it inside the. I mean, we have the recorded file, so we'll just tag you in. So you
Excellent.
just get it, and also make sure to restart your game as well, just in case, because this was a long game. So
Yep. Okay.
probably need to restart.
Um, Okay, so we've got Minimoult playing as the Ottomans this time around, and we have Optimus playing as the Brits. Another classic matchup.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup indeed. Really looking forward for it.
Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, if everything's ready, you're in, Jaeger, I'll kick off straight into the next game, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
And great stuff by Minimoult as well, putting those games into the chat. That's very kind of him. Cool, okay. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. Just a couple of things to set up. There.
Good to go.
Excellent. Okay, so kicking off with the next game, guys. We're going to try and go through these as quickly as possible. We have Minimoult starting in the north of the map as the Ottomans, and we have Optimus playing Brits. I've had the misfortune of playing Optimus's Brits numerous times on the ladder before, and let me tell you, he has a very, very strong Brits. It's it's almost unfair. Every time I played it, it's very difficult. He very much likes, from my personal experience, he very much likes going for early aggression musketeers, lots of musketeers, whilst booming behind it. So I would be surprised if we see anything other than that, particularly against Ottomans. However, Minimoult does like to do H2 style stuff. He likes to go for TPs, so we probably won't see anything like a fast fortress from Mini here. So maybe Optimus will play a bit more defensive this game from what I'm used to playing him as. So yeah, this will be exciting. It reminds me of the good old Legacy days. You know, I'm very much a vanilla boy, Soap McTavish. You know, playing on the ladder. Playing as all the Euro civs, and that's very much what I enjoy watching. So. This is going to be a good one to cast, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And starting again, look like Mini again is coming up with another good stuff for us. So he just gathered all of his resource credits up to 20, and he got the TP, and we all know what's coming. That's going to be the Silk Road card dropping in. So that's going to be additional resources on those resource crates on the ground, and also additional resources or XPs on the TP line.
Yeah, it's interesting. So anyone that's looking, because I always try to explain to any newbies that are watching and think, why has he left all these resources here? So you'll see in a second what he's going to do is ship Silk Road, which per crate that's on the floor, it gives an extra. Is it 20%, 25% resources?
Yeah, it's 25%.
25. So every 100 resource crate will have an extra 20 wood. So essentially, it's going to increase each of these by about 20 resources. So there it is. There it comes. And I think this is the same. Yeah. So this is the same deck that we saw Minimoult play on an earlier series, utilizing this Silk Road straight into Sublime Porte. So it would be cool if we see that used again. It does sacrifice the free villagers, like we discussed. However, he likes the TP line, and that certainly makes up for free villagers. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see what he's going to do. I will actually just show. I'll keep an eye on these crates just to kind of showcase anyone watching that's never seen it before. So we've got 20 resources in each of these crates. And when Silk Road comes in, all crates contain plus 25% more resources, and trade yield.
It's going to be 45, I guess, each.
Yeah.
Because
so there we go.
Will be plus 25. Yeah.
So that's a huge resource at such an early stage of the game. A really huge boost. So that's what we was talking about. It's obviously very useful as well when you go for the resource shipments in Age 2. So really nice, well played by Minimoult here. Might actually start to see a meta develop here after this series with Ottoman, because it's very, very strong, and I think somewhat underutilized. We do see a lot of the Otto TC spam at the moment. I don't know if Jaeger, if you've come across that very much, but the kind of the 4 TC spam, which is very, very strong at the moment. So it's nice to see something different, some more classical play by Ottoman. Let's take a quick look over to Ottoman, because being watching, it's just so interesting to watch Minimoult play, especially with civs. Even like Ottoman, he does things very interestingly. So
it's interesting that as he also said, he doesn't have that 4 TC style. He's going with the same strat. I would say that he went on the first game, I guess, that we cast. So he has the wood trade card. So I guess soon he's just putting all of his settlers into food and just gather as much food as possible. Go for the trade while he's transitioning, and then after that try to get the trade post and also some text probably from the trade post as well.
Mm. So we're doing the exact same thing again, and yeah, like you said, that's going to be really cool to watch. He is popped at the moment, and I think that's one of the drawbacks to this strategy. However, it gives you such a huge amount of resource pop wise, compared to the amount of villagers you'd have, it's just so worth it. So look at that wood. It's absolutely insane. No doubt we're going to see, so we're going to see the artillery and the barracks come down straight away. Optimus has identified this. He knows what's coming. He's played this before. He's seen the fact that Minimoult is getting all these TPs. Therefore, he can't be sending as much resource into his military. So he's actually been really quite aggressive. And this is what I was saying at the start of the game. I've played this aggressive Optimus style before, and it's very, he knows how to do this like the back of his hand. So he's going to be very effective at doing this. Plonking straight next down to a TP. This TP is not going to last very long, and it's going to definitely go down. So this is exactly how Optimus needs to play to counter this.
Yeah, I mean, you have to admit the amount of wood that he got from that trade was really massive. Like,
insane.
That was really huge. I mean, at the moment, I guess, Optimus is trying to play it aggressively, but I don't think he will be sieging down those trade posts anytime soon, because there is an artillery foundry and also a barracks going up from Minimoult. So probably the Abus guns are going to be played, considering the fact that the 700 coin crate is dropping in, and also he has 600 coin crates as well. So he will be just going to mass Abus and Jans for the time being. It doesn't have any stable, so I guess that's going to be it for the moment.
Yeah, so quite lucky that he literally just about going to be 10 seconds just short, unfortunately for Optimus. The upgrade was coming from this TP, so almost a mistake there by Minimoult, not doing it at one of these kind of far end ones, which would have been definitely the smarter play, the safer choice anyway. But yeah, takes down one TP, so that's definitely going to hurt. Going to pick up, perfect, look at that, perfect timing. Like, as soon as it's built, bang, 93 wood. Minimoult's not sleeping on the job. He knows exactly what he's doing. So really nice macro there. Definitely going to go down here now, which I don't think it's a bad idea. Maybe pushing in would have been a good idea, but in hindsight, he has Abus, so this is definitely the safer option. Once he sees those Abus, he's definitely going to have to mix it up. He's definitely going to have to make something other than just musketeers. So, okay, so there you go. He must have heard me in the future, because he's already now got some longbows. Like I said, I think Optimus has played this before. Knows what's coming, so is predicting it. A shame about Stephen Cunningham going down like that, because you always want your explorer. Your explorer is always a really important unit, even into the late game, but particularly this sort of stage of the game. Like, again, look, Optimus is trying to utilize. Sorry, Minimoult's trying to utilize. I Date My Double Cousin. It's just about getting that snare. 500 HP is a lot of HP to tank at this stage of the game. So you always want to keep your explorer alive. You always want to, get that snare on people. You always got to get that trap. And so often, your explorer singly can change that tempo shift in the early Age 2 game and win games. So it's really important that, and you could see both how high level players these guys are. They both were kind of fishing for their explorer to get that snatch, to get that snare on. Unfortunately, it didn't work for Optimus this side, but Minimoult still has his alive. So just something interesting to point out about your explorer and how important it is to just keep them alive. So Optimus going for the musketeer longbow comp here. So that's I think that's a good response to Abus Jans. It generally comes down to, because Abus will delete longbows if there's enough of them, but longbows in mass will destroy Abus. So it's kind of that cat and mouse game of how much you can mass of them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the micro that goes on here.
Yeah, I mean, by the look of this mass that Optimus has, and due to the fact that Mini is also fighting under a trade post. It's just taking a free shot for no reason. I mean,
Yeah,
I get the point that he's trying to apply pressure, but it's not really necessary to fight under a tower. Just try to remass and fight it out in a better position, I guess.
and really, really nice micro by Optimus, utilizing that tower. The Musketeers are in the back sieging down, and therefore he's kind of forcing Minimoult. If he wants to take the fight, he has to walk through this barracks. He has to walk through this tower. And like I said, longbows in mass would absolutely destroy Abbas, and they did. So that was kind of a bad macro and micro play rather by Minimoult there. He really just lost all his Abbas for nothing. He I don't know if he understood how many longbows were actually there, but yeah, bad play by Minimoult there. I think he overestimated his Abus because the TP was going to go down anyway. So yeah, really well microed by Optimus, however.
Yeah, and at the same time, Mini is trying his best to keep the trade post up as much as possible. I mean, he already lost like 2 trade posts, which is really hard for him. I mean, that was 400 wood, and considering the fact that British has better economy, especially on an H2 compared to Ottoman, that was a lot of resource.
Yeah. So again, using these resource crates, and if you look, the 600. The 600 coin crate, is still more than 700 resources by a comfortable amount. So yeah, really making use of that Silk Road card at the beginning of the game, and it's really paying off dividends for him. Yeah, the problem is just the amount of mass that he's got out on the field. His resources are really nice, but yeah, like his macros running out of food. He lost all those Abus. Imagine if he still had all those Abus, the 6, 7, or 8 Abus that he actually had. This would be a lot more threatening.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have a feeling that, I mean, if Optimus just stands still and take the fight, he can win the fight easily. He has the mass, he has the units, he has enough longbows to deal with the Jans. And the Abbots are far out, so he can't deal with them.
Yeah, there's just too many longbow here, and I think these longbow need to target the Abus straight away. He's got a flanking set of Hussars as well, and even 2 is going to be really detrimental at this stage. And Minimoult's called God. The GG. And really well played by Optimus. And if we review this game, I mean, I think it's fair to say that there was one mistake that cost Minimoult the game, and that was clearly, pushing in with the Abus here, overestimating the Abus, underestimating how much longbow were there, and really getting a bit too desperate. Got a bit too desperate. I feel like really didn't need to push in. Still had 2 TPs, had the Silk Road, with all the resource crates still to have as an eco boost. Yeah, so he still even had, I think he has still had, like, for example, the free Hussar card. Even that's useful in a situation like this to get the raids and etc. So yeah, I think that was the single thing that cost him the game.
Yeah, true. And I don't know, actually, maybe investing too much in the trade post as well, considering that you won't be able to hold the trade post for long against a civ like British that have the option to be H2 aggressive. And I think he already spot that the aggression is coming on H2 with that TP, the outpost and the barracks at the center of the map. So I guess he should have, at that point, he should have just stopped, committing too much for the trade post.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it can always be difficult against Brits, because obviously we know how good Brits eco is just with the mana boom, and if a Brit catches on early that Ottoman are doing something like this, and they capitalize on it by putting a forward racks and a tower right next to the TP, they're going to deny that resource investment by Ottoman, and they're going to have so many units out on the map, and they're just going to catch the Ottoman off guard, which is exactly what Optimus did. And I think, to be honest with you, Optimus just played it perfectly. I do always believe in this matchup, going for the FF as Ottoman is much more safer, because it's still a winnable matchup for... I feel like the FF matchup versus Brit is kind of 50-50. I think it can go either way. So I do think it's a safer option because if, like I said, if a good Brit catches on that you're going for eco heavy, they can very much snowball you. But yeah, GG's, well played to both. I think we'll go right into the next game if that's okay with you, Jaeger.
Yeah, that's good. Get into it. So that's gonna be 0-2 for Optimus, and now we will be moving on to the third game. And also, I guess you should just restart the game as well, just in case. And also we got the third game as well. So I'm just gonna tag you.
Thank you very much. Look, we're starting to be a good combo now. Look.
Yeah, exactly. Like that problem with the UI and the lag, it was just killing the tempo for some moment. That
I think we've
I
got
mean,
there now.
we sorted out.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, yeah. Thanks again to Minimoult, who's been really consistent with the recordings, so we can show everyone. So yeah, thank you to Minimoult, being an absolute legend as always. Oh, he just looks so cute in his suit and tie, doesn't he? He just looks so cute, look.
Yeah, I've said it before. Like, he's just too cute, too handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, while we are loading in for the next game, let's just use the time to give a shout out to Microsoft and Tech Cafe for sponsoring this tournament. This $10K dollar tournament, which is the biggest tournament that is done so far for AoE 3DE. So I hope everyone is enjoying their time, and thanks for all of you guys inside the chat as well for being inside there and just bearing with us. And I hope you guys are enjoying the casting as well.
Okay, so there might be some problem with the game that I've just downloaded. Bear with me 2 secs because it's the same one that we just watched.
All right, I got the third game already. It's ready to go. Just waiting for you.
Yep, we'll be there very shortly. Bear with me.
All right, so the third game, guys, it's gonna be Italy on Minimoult and Maltese on Optimus. So that's another thing about this tournament. This is the most recent DLC that dropped for AoE 3DE, the Maltese and Italians, the Night of the Mediterranean DLC. And one of the rules for this tournament is at least one game in each series should be played with either of these two new civ. And for the games of best of 7, if the game gets, I guess, more than, if you get more than the third game, you have to play at both of these civs. So in a best of 7 game in a long series, I guess you will be seeing each of the players to play with both Maltese and Italian. So that's one of the rules of the tournament.
Yeah, that's great. And if you're ready, Jaeger, I'll kick off into the next game.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Right, here we go. So like you said, yeah, we got... this is going to be a good match. I've got a feeling it's kind of a fair match for both of these opponents. So they're both deciding to go for their civilization, the Italy, or from the Knights of the Mediterranean DLC that they have to win a game as. So or play a game as. So yeah, so that's really good to see. So you know, no one using a stronger civ that they've had more experience with. So this will be a really cool slobber knocker. Optimus going as as Malta. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because I've played this matchup and it's not easy for Italy. Italy like to do, as we've seen, they like to go for their fast fortress, they like to go for their fast industrial. However, that kind of plays into Malta's hands because if you don't reach a certain point before sort of 12 or 13 minutes that you can really then have a big power spike, Malta are just gonna, their expo pike mass is just going to be absolutely insane. We've all seen what their crazy expos can do with all the ups that they have available to them. So yeah, you don't want to leave it too long against Malta. You want to pressure them at a certain point before they really start to use that German tongue economy and all of those ups with the expos. So I'm going to be interested to see how Minimoult plays this as Italy. I think from Optimus' side, we'll probably see something a bit more standard. Has actually gone for a TP and a market and getting hunting dogs. So yeah, really nice pickup by him. Not sure if he's got any good wood treasures, but yeah, gone for full greed there, and that's going to be an absolutely perfect start for Optimus.
Yeah, I wonder if that pays out soon. But we also know that Italy is not one of those civ that is like super aggressive on H2. I mean, they could be, but it's not as deadly as other H2 civs. But meanwhile, Minimoult with the Italy, he has the Broken Lance Company that's gonna ship 3 Pebble Lancer and 1 Steroid. That's a really nice unit for H2 to have. They're a really solid cavalry unit, and also he has the 7 Pay Viziers, and the rest are just bunch of resource crates and also the Uffizi card. So I suppose as soon as he reached to H2, he will be dropping the Uffizi card, and then he will be getting a Basilica, and basically that's just a standard play by Italy these days.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see when he decides to make his move, if you will, and in which age he decides to do that with. We have seen minis Italy. I believe we saw it in the Italy mirror versus Tit. So yeah, he really showed what he's capable of in that matchup. So it'd be interesting to see if we see something similar. We could very much see something similar. So Minimoult just passing that wood treasure, does see it. Yeah, he's going to go right back for it. And I imagine if he's got the sharp shot, he will be picking that bear off, that poor brown bear. Not sure what it ever did to you, but he's going to kill it anyway. Yep, going to be waiting for his sharp shot.
But considering the fact that Optimus has 600 and 700 wood shipment and also the trip to Jerusalem card, we probably gonna see the H2 aggression with the double hospitals from Maltese. And also, like, we have seen that Optimus likes to be the aggressive player on H2. I think that will be the case again for this game, and he's already transitioning into the wood, and he's just chopping wood massively. I guess that's gonna be the German taunt dropping in, and after that, I guess maybe or maybe not, he will go for the devil hospitals.
Yeah, so definitely going to see German tongue. He's spamming for it now. Yep. So going to go for that early eco, and yeah, I kind of predicted that we might see something quite meta for Optimus playing as Malta. What's going to be interesting is what we're going to see from Italy. I think this all comes down to the response from Minimoult. We know what Hauser's going to do. We know what they're capable of. We know at what points you need to punish them. You can't leave them for too long, otherwise they will just kind of overpower you with, their really good eco cards and their very, very effective expos, which almost act like arrow knights once they've got all of their upgrade cards. So. Yeah, so okay, so Minimoult going for an architect. That's what he's stacking up, an architect, which is interesting. We'll see what that produces. Going for amalgamation as well at this stage of the game. Yeah, so I mean that's not normally something you see that this early in the game, but obviously with Italy it gives you an extra villager. So really going all out with the market ups there, and that's a 400 resource investment for one. I mean, well, not just for one villager, but for the actual upgrade as well. So yeah, hopefully he puts his fair share of villagers on actual gold mines and silver mines to get the most effective use out of that tech. Architect about to come in now. I believe they take about as long as a villager to produce. They are.
No, it's actually longer.
Ah, okay. I'm not sure if in the new the pup suggested that they will take shorter time. Is that right, or am I making that up? I might be making that up.
I don't know. I might have misread it.
Okay.
I haven't noticed it.
The longer you have the architect, the more the kind of more effectiveness compared to a villager the ratio would be. So that obviously just makes sense with most investments, early investments, but yeah, it's good to get the architect earlier rather than later. So I'm gonna go for Lombard now. Like with the Italy mirror that we saw, interesting enough, Minimoult decided not to go for the Lombard Eco, whilst Tit was the one who went for the Lombard Eco. So now it looks like, the Uno reverse card again, and Minimoult's decided to go for the Lombard. He's doing some kind of Lombard investment here, because he's going to have 4 of them very shortly. So yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I'm not entirely convinced that this is going to be the right play here. Please, Minimoult, prove me wrong if that's the case. However, I don't like to leave Malta kind of untouched for too long, because I think they're a very powerful late game civilization. So yeah, so that's just my opinion on it. He does actually have musketeers out though. So as well as all of these upgrades, as well as all these Lombards going on, he has actually got a Rax out there, and he's got some musketeers out on the pitch. He is going to be sieging this TP down, which is very good. That's going to stop the XP trickle. He does actually have it upgraded though, so yeah, that's actually going to be a huge pickup, particularly if Minimoult can then get this TP himself. So yeah, really nice catch, really well watched there, and really nice catch by Minimoult.
Yeah, and on the other side, Optimus seems to be having a really nice, happy farm time. He's just booming it all the way up. He doesn't have any hospital or anything. He just have like a single commentary. Oh, as we speak, hospital is being built, and also he's going for the trade post on the other side of the map. He's having his explorer to build that as well, which he's going to have that as well.
Yeah. So 2 hospitals down, 6, I presume 10, maybe 8 musketeers are about to pop out. No, okay, just the 6. So 6 sentinels out on the pitch, and he's got 4 order hussars out. Wow, okay, so I didn't see them being produced, but they're going to run right into the musketeers, and that's not what you want to happen. Oh, and he's just about going to get away with it.
Oh god, that's a huge musketeer mass.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a really nice mass by Minimoult. And I think we're going to see more of this, because I think, Italy like to get some early musketeers out. They seem to transition and synergize well with the musketeers. It's kind of like a semi-musketeer FF. So Optimus now is also doing, he's got some hussars out. He's got a few sentinels out. These sentinels, bear in mind, are 2 pop each, but they're very, very effective musketeers in the early game. Possibly the best musketeers, I believe, in the early game. However, as the game goes on, they become less and less effective, and that's largely due to their population space. So they essentially, part of their cost in the early game is population space, which is good and bad. But like I said, it's as the game goes by, that's not as effective. Minimoult having some trouble trying to take down these order hussars. As long as he doesn't lose any villagers, he's going to do well there. He's going to lose one. Oh, wow. Really great micro. Oh, it does lose one. Okay. Really nice micro there from Mini, though. Yeah, wow. Taking down most of those hussars. If you want to know how to play defensively, guys, that's how you do it. That's how you smack down some hussars. Yeah, so these musketeers, getting great value out of these musketeers. That's the second TP that he's taken. He has started to take this TP at the top of the map as well. So yeah, so that's really nice play by Minimoult. He's definitely won this age. Optimus is almost up. we'll have a quick look at his deck. He doesn't have. Oh, no, he does have hospitality. So he has used that by the looks of it, which is a great card. It makes upgrades cheaper as well. So no doubt, I imagine we'll see that utilized with the Expo and Pike upgrades. Maybe the Musketeers as well. I think you get to the stage with Malta where, he might make 10 or 20 more Musketeers, but I think you've really got to transition into the Bow Pike at some point soon, because, that's kind of where they fit best. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going Sentinels early, as long as you've got the population space for it. But like I said, the later the game goes on, the less and less you want to have of the Sentinels. Putting some units in the commandery. Maybe he wants to get a bit of a surprise attack going. I don't think he has another commandery on where he will want to spawn them out. Artillery foundry going down now. Yeah, so this is looking good for Optimus. Is doing his own thing. Minimoult's also up now. 2 Falconets are coming out. He has Veteran Musketeers, and he has the bigger mass. Yeah, this is a standard kind of Musketeer semi-FF play by Italy here. Got really good eco, really strong eco. Although it's only 30 villagers, he's got he's got amalgamation, he's got steel traps, he's got all of those market techs. So, he has a really, really strong eco. And he also has the TP with the up to trading post up here as well. So, yeah, looking in a really, really good position. What I would now like to see, he's got his 2 Falconets out. What I would also like to start to him to see is get those mercenary cards out. Maybe get the Black Watch or the Albania Watch out, and that would really put some huge pressure on Optimus. However, it looks like he's sticking true to his guns and just going for the standard, pumping Musketeers, which there's nothing wrong with that either. Going for the eco card, 1500 resources for the Lombards. Making really good use of all these Lombards now. So yeah, I mean, Minimoult just playing this, absolutely perfectly. I don't think he's put a foot wrong, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's just applying a really nice, well, let's say safe and nice pressure on Optimus. He's not commenting too much. He's just playing it safely, but at the same time, he's getting the what he wants basically out of those. And the Covarians are coming in, and by the look of it, I guess one Falconet will be going down if Minimoult doesn't move those Falconets. Yeah, I suppose they will be getting the shot. There we go.
Yeah, so that's really nice.
The rest of the army, it was a really nice position there.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, there seems to be a bit of a switch gone on, and all of these Musketeers are just kind of really wilted down. And this is where the Sentinels are really coming into their own, because Sentinels are better than Musketeers at this stage of the game. They are 2 population, which is part of the reason why they're stronger, because they sacrifice an extra pop. However, that's not too much of a problem before your max population. So yeah, the Culverins counter the Falconets, and these Sentinels somewhat counter the Musketeers. So yeah, that's really well played by Optimus there, and Minimoult's going to have to kind of rethink what he's going to do now. Huge macro. All of a sudden, I took my eye away for like about 30 seconds, and all of a sudden he's going up to industrial, using the artillery card that we mentioned earlier as well. And this is, I literally feel like I blinked and his macro is going for industrial, and that's what I was talking about. Italy's eco. So although he was only on he's on 38 villages now, but he was only on 32 villages a short while ago. Yeah, because he's got all the market ups, the eco is very, very strong. So yeah, I think that's a great option here. I would have liked to have seen the mercenary cards, because I think he had a potential for big power spike in age 3 here with the 2 Falconets, and I think Albania Company would have just absolutely wiped the floor here at that anything he could have thrown out, and the Culverins would have gone down and everything. But, he's decided to go for industrial, which is definitely a good option as well. It's going to take him a little while to get into industrial. But we'll see what units he ships there. No doubt we'll probably see like a Musketeer skirmisher type composition, which... we've all seen what those Griot type skirmishers can do. So yeah, great option by Mini, and this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, but I have a feeling the first upgrade that he's going to get is going to be the 25 Bourbon allies, and that's I would say it's one of the best shipment in the game at the moment, and it's getting nerfed for the upcoming patch. So on the next patch, they won't be getting the Royal Guard upgrade as a shadow take with that card. So uh, I guess, I mean, with the amount of gold that he's collecting and also the amount of tech that he's getting, I suppose that's the target for him.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was obviously going through Minimoult's mind. I think if I was him, I would. I don't know if he has the in his deck. So he does. So he has the 4 Culverin cards. So in my mind, I would be thinking, right, I need to sort these artillery out, and I'm going to ship the 4 Culverins to do that. And then how I'm going to deal with these Sentinels is by making skirmishers. So I think that we might see something like that, unless we see some like crazy mercenary pop, like the Bourbon allies, or he doesn't have any of the big mercenary shipment cards. But yeah, well, we could see something like the 2 Papal Bombards. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that we'll see some skirmishers being shipped, and we'll see the 4 Culverins.
Yeah, I think that yeah, it's just about time. I guess we see what's his next shipment. Yeah, it's going to be the Coverin. So the Coverin is being shipped, and as you said, also he's just trying to get rid of those 3 Falcon and 2 Coverin that Optimus has. And also there is one more thing to mention, that the artillery units of Maltese, they will be getting the 2% HP bonus with each shipment. That's the civilization bonus for Maltese. So all of your units, except for the one from the commandery, they will be getting 2% HP buff with each shipment, except for the infinite shipment.
Yes.
So I guess it's really hard to, at the same time, to deal with the high HP artilleries.
Yeah, that's a really good point to mention, and I'm not sure where those culverts. Here they are, and if we look at these culverts, oh, okay, so he's actually upgraded these culverins then. So he's got an artillery, and these culverins have actually been upgraded. So yeah, I mean,
oh yeah, you got the upgrade. Nice.
So even
nice.
with
really good,
even with Optimus's +2 on his culverins, they're still no match for industrial culverins. So yeah, so like I predicted, we're going to see some skirmishers. He wants to mix some of them in. The 4 Culverin card coming in, really making use of all of the shipments from all of the techs you get from the arsenal. And this is what I mentioned in an earlier series, that it's such an underutilized card, and it's such a strong card for Italy, because not only does it make every single one of those techs cheaper,
upgrades, yeah.
one of those upgrades half the price, you get a free.
Well, yeah.
It's such a vital card for Italy, and Italy players really need to take note here. It's something I've identified. You just need to know that the issue is you just need to know when to fit that card in. That's the biggest issue with Italy. You need to know when to send that card, and like where does it fit into the build order. But once you've got it down, it's such an effective card, and it acts as it almost acts as a mini TC for a small period of time, because of how many villagers you can effectively get from it. So yeah, it's also going to make these skirmishers and musketeers really powerful. There's also upgrades for the culverins and artillery in there, so there's HP upgrades for the culverins as well. So he should really be destroying this artillery war, but it doesn't look like he's taken as effective trades as he should have done.
Yeah, I would say that was not really used wisely. He just lost all of the Coverins.
Yeah, I mean, he did do some good micro there at the end, and if he can manage to take out that last Falconet, which he can't, but he did manage to take out a couple of Falconets, and it almost, you could call it even Stevens, which isn't going to be terrible for Minimoult, because he's still got those skirmishers, and once the Falconets go down, there's going to be absolutely no answer to these skirmishers. So it wasn't a terrible trade for Minimoult. Those 4 Culverins did what they needed to do, and there we go. There comes the GG. Absolutely phenomenal play by Minimoult. Like, did not put a foot wrong that game.
Yeah, I feel Minimoult is just doing a really good job with Italy in this tournament. Like, I feel he's one of main saves, I would say, even, because like every time I see him play as Italy, it's just like he's either doing some really amazing strats and just making the game just one-sided, or he's just pulling a really nice comeback. It's just like he knows how to use Italy wisely. It's just really nice to watch.
Yeah, so absolutely phenomenal player, and I have to admit, I'm actually fanboying quite hard right now because I have said on one of my streams as well that I definitely want Italy to be one of my main squeezes because I have so much fun playing them, and no doubt I'm gonna be rewatching these records and recordings and getting my notebook out and writing down some notes because this is really really impressive play by Minimoult. We'll take a quick look at the resource graphs. Yeah. So just like I said, you can't leave Malta alone. You have to apply some kind of pressure to them. Otherwise, they will just run away with the game and become a very strong late game powerhouse. And it's exactly what he did. He's got took down lots of villagers, applied lots of pressure with the musketeers, taking down those TPs early on. And yeah, and although Optimus gathered more resources, Minimoult just played it absolutely perfectly. His micro was spot on, and he capitalized on the industrial age and essentially those late game, those age 4 cards that he sent. Definitely caught up, made the difference on the resources. So yeah, well played to him.
Yeah, definitely. A GG to both of them. And now we will be moving on to the next game. And also, I guess you just restart the game every game. It just seemed to be the safest option.
Yeah. So if you give me 2 secs.
So the fourth game, it's gonna be uh, Minimoult as Spain and Optimus as Japanese, which we will be going to that shortly.
Sorry, could you just say the civs again?
Minimoult as Spanish and Optimus as Japanese.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you could just give me 2 minutes as well. Just need to take a quick loo break and grab another drink. I have to mention it's been like 33 odd degrees or something in England today, which in England is very, very hot. So I keep needing to have some drink breaks. So bear with me, guys.
And guys, while we are waiting, just giving you guys a heads up, United Empires is also casting some of the games from this tournament, and at the moment they are casting Kinesi versus Ungers. And if you guys are interested, you can just go to that channel and just continue watching those games as well while we are waiting. And also a big shout out to Microsoft and Tech Cafe for sponsoring this tournament, and also to each and every one of you guys inside the chat who are bearing with us and watching the game. I hope you guys are enjoying the time.
Okay, hi guys, I am back. Are you here, Jaeger?
Yep, I'm here.
Good, good. Okay. So is the game still going on?
Yes, the game is still on, and I don't suppose it's finished, or I don't know, maybe I don't think it will be finishing anytime soon.
Okay, we'll jump into
But
the live game then.
should yeah, I guess we just try to go for the live game. If it was slowing down, I guess just speed it up. Maybe it works.
Yeah, we'll use that that medium speed because that seemed to be a really good. That's the best we can do, I think, rather than the lag. So, okay,
Yeah,
I can see the game, so we'll jump into it right now.
yeah. Let's.
So it's 2-1 to Optimus. Oh, not 2-2, 2-1. Okay, great.
All right, let's get into it.
Good stuff. Okay. This is game number 4, right? So game number 4, Minimoult playing as Spain in the north of the map, and we have Optimus playing Japan on the south of the map. I have to say, this is another this is another one of my favorite, not favorite, but this is a matchup I really enjoy. It's like one of those dirty little secrets, just because I love how it's difficult for Japan, right? So this is Spain have that classic, Spain pain train FF, and it can be very difficult for Japan to deal with those early lancers, deal with those early falconets. And anytime there's a civilization that makes it painful for Japan, I'm all on board for that. I'm all about that. So yeah, this would be a good one. How do you think this matchup goes?
I feel this is one of those matchups that is also very interesting to me because we know that Spain can always use the FF, and we know how scary the Spain FF look like. And also, one more thing to mention: this map has the Krabats, so
Ah.
let's see if we see some Krabat laming this game or not. I mean, Spain can definitely go for it, or even Japanese actually they can go for it. They just need the monastery, and then they can just train the outlaws. But we are about to see what's going to happen. Someone in the chat is saying uh, Lionheart is just a Japan hater.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that could be it. And
I mean,
Also, the prediction is up inside the chat, so feel free to vote. Either Mini or Opti will be winning this game.
I am. I do have my issues with Japan. So, but I'll leave the biases out of this game. Don't worry. Yeah. So, okay. So this would be. I haven't seen. I don't know if I've seen Minimoult Spain before. I think he's pretty much good with every legacy civ. So every kind of European civ. So, I'm sure we're going to see something exciting from Spain here. Optimus, I've seen him play Japan before, I believe. So, he's going to have, great micro. He's going to have great macro. So we'll see how. But I think the standard build order for Japan is different when they're playing Spain, right? So any civilization has to take, whenever they play Spain, they always have to play slightly different. That's how I feel whenever I play Spain, or even like versus an Otto FF. You always have to play slightly different because you have to be prepared for that really early aggro aggression, right? So you've got and the back of your mind is always those two falconets, right? So it's like, right, how am I going to deal with those falconets, right? So I've got to do this. I've got to do this build order. I've got to slightly change it so I'm a bit faster. I've maybe got a little bit less eco. I can't go too greedy. I've just got to be conscious in the back of your mind the whole time against those two falconets and how you're going to deal with those two falconets. So I imagine that's what's at the back of Optimus's mind. We'll see how he deals with it. Wanda is going to be a very safe Wanda. So what are his options though? I mean, He's shrined here right next to his base, and he's also shrined right below his base. So do we think this is something he's taken into consideration? So if we look at how defensive these shrines are and how defensive this Wanda is, do you think he's already taken into consideration at the beginning of this game, right, he's going to be playing Spain, he's going to be doing the FF, I've got to be conscious on how I deal with that, and maybe he's putting all of his buildings behind his base to try and keep them as safe as possible from the Spanish onslaught? Do we think that's what is going through his mind when he's done these shrines?
Yeah, I feel probably that's the idea behind it. I mean, and also at the same time, he got a military wagon from the age up as well with the samurai. I mean, the samurai is not gonna do anything for the time being. But also, if you take a look at Minimoult's deck, you will be seeing that on age 3 he has the 1000 shipment, and also he has the I forgot the card name. So he has the 1000 shipment, and also he has the Marvelous Year card. So I have a feeling he's going to have the 3 TC booming on age 3 with the Marvelous Year card. That's going to be really massive. So basically for 6 minutes, your settlers will be training faster and also gathering much faster. So that's a really nice strategy if he managed to apply it. So he will be having a lot of advantage. But by the look of it, he's going for the early aggression. 700 wood is also being played.
He also aged up with the 2 villagers and the 2 cow cards, I believe. Unless I saw that wrong, I think he did age up with the 2 cows.
He aged up with the 2 cows. Yeah.
So again, this is something until the earlier series where I think it was actually might have been Optimus that did that in the game versus April, and he actually aged up with the 2 villagers as well as the two cows, and he decided to go for the age 2 play as well. And to be honest with you, it's something very rarely you actually see with Spain. You don't often see them play age 2, let alone age up with the 2 villagers and 2 cows. So this is very new to me. So there's no logistician play either. So this is interesting. We're gonna see the double racks musketeer spam. Gonna get 4, 5, 6, 7 out, which isn't too bad. Hopefully there'll be another batch of at least 6 or 8, and then we're gonna see an open stable from Japan here. And if we look at their base art, like this is definitely, look how defensive this base is. So the only thing that's sticking out is his market, and that's okay to take down because that's almost a buffer before anything hits your TC. So everything else is very much behind his base. So I definitely think he's being cautious. You always have to be against the FF, but we don't actually see the FF. So maybe, maybe that's detriment to Optimus here. He's predicted the FF and he's built his village very defensively. The only drawback to that is he's left some of these villages exposed, so there's no buildings almost or line of sight protecting these villages. So that could be something that is taken into place here. But yeah, not going to pick up any villagers that time. Does get some of these shinobi out, and that's going to repel these musketeers. So that's good play by Optimus. These cav riders are out on the map. Okay, nice little Rodolero shipment there. I wonder if he built them or if he sent just shipment of rods.
No, he trained them, I believe. I was checking, so
okay, so that's
I guess for the time being, yeah.
Yes, that's a great way of repelling the and protecting your villages, right? However, it's going to be at the detriment to your kind of forward advancing, musketeer spam here, and as we can see here, they are in some dire need of some supporting shipments. So, yeah, he's all of a sudden been kind of put on the defensive here, Minimoult, which is definitely what he didn't plan on doing. Definitely wanted to be the aggressor, but in actual fact has lost a lot of units. Yeah, so where are those rods gone? I think they might have been in here. So if he can utilize these rods really well, he's either going to try and run back and defend his base against these Nagito riders. I can never pronounce that name.
Yeah, they're Naginata.
Naginata. I always forget how to pronounce the. Yeah, so he's going to take.
That's a nice raid there.
Really nice raid. So he's picked up a couple of villages at least there. Rods probably want to stay around here, and Optimus has kind of forced that onto Mini now. So that's a really great raid, and he's going to Mini's going to be constantly worrying about his villagers now. Now he knows that the raids have been and that he's got cav. He's going to be constantly worrying about the cav raids. So that's a really nice play by Optimus here.
Yeah, but at the same time, Mini should be really controlling those gold amount that he has. I mean, he should definitely switch into food like all of the settlers, or even because he's having too much gold at the moment. This is not the micro. I mean, if you look at it, if he had a tavern, maybe you thought that he's trying to go for the crabbas, but I mean, he's not even trying to build a tavern. So I guess he's trying to. Maybe he's just trying to age up, I guess.
Yeah, maybe Minimoult doesn't want to lame, and he doesn't care about the money that much, and he just wants to play a fair game. Who knows, eh?
Oh yeah, he's going for the fast age up instead. That's interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Optimus is also going for the age as well. So we went for this card, which arrives fast, and your next age up is cheaper and faster the more shipments you have sent in the current age. So utilizing that new card that came out with the Spanish rework. So that's cool. That's really cool to see. I have experimented with that card a little bit. I sort of prefer going bow pike into extended age 2, even with the logistician, because you can send a lot of cards with the logistician. You can get decent eco with it, and you can get decent mass with it, and then you can ship this card along with the other new card that came out, which gives you those native goons. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, but Mini, obviously, like we said, throughout this series has clearly done his research on all his build orders. He has very meticulous build orders, and they've all been generally paying off really well. But yeah, he's on the back foot slightly this game. I'm not sure by how much cheaper that made the age up. I'm going to say with only, 3, 4, 5, 6 shipments that have been sent, 7 including the one that makes it cheaper, it wouldn't have knocked off that much resources. So how much of a resource that would have been worth, I'm not sure. However, I think the most effective thing about that card is that it ages you up quicker. So I think that's what he's taken into consideration here. Has aged up with a TC wagon. So going to go for some more eco. Great option.
Yeah, and I wonder if he goes for the Marvelous Year straight away, or he's just gonna go for the Falconet Lancer and after that go for some sort of Bloomy style. But it seemed like those settlers on Minimoult base are getting raided, and he's not really paying attention to it. He finally did, and the Nagis are just pulling back. And then the Spanish gold is being played at the moment. That's an interesting choice, to be honest. So for now on, for each shipment, including the one that he's getting, he will be receiving 300 coin. So that's gonna be a really nice payoff in a long term.
Yeah, so
And then yeah,
uh, really investing in his eco Minimoult, aging up with the TC, going for Spanish gold, using, playing it out in age 2, really investing in his eco here, which is, I think is a good option. What else we're going to see from the skirmishers? It will be interesting. Maybe he's going to go for like a skirm rod and lancer type composition. So that would be great. You do need a decent eco for that to pay off. However, those lancers aren't cheap. I think they're 110 food and 90 gold, along with double pumping skirmishers. Isn't cheap on the old gold side of things. So yeah, looks like his macro's looking pretty decent. Every shipment he's going to get now is going to give him an extra 300 gold. Did get nerfed slightly at the last patch, Spanish gold. I believe it was 330 gold that it gave you.
it was, I think, 360, and it dropped to 300. I don't know, maybe 360 or 350.
Okay, I'm sure
Either
chat could let us know, but it did get nerfed by about a good 10% or so. However, it's still a decent card. It takes just over 3 cards for it to pay for itself. So as long as this game goes on a bit longer than that, it should be fine. Rodeliers, if they catch these Yabusami, they're going to do a huge amount of damage. Yabusami, pretty much the only thing they are weak against.
All of them are dead, I suppose. They are getting snared. Oh,
huge catch. Absolutely huge catch. These Yabusami being...
nice.
Yeah, really, really tanky. And pretty much the only thing they're weak against is something like rods. So yeah, really nice pickup for Minimoult there, and they're very expensive units, right? They're 150 gold and 60 food. So yeah, really nice. Guessing that he's predicted Minimoult will go for those 2 falconets early, and maybe he's trying to go for like a Yumi / Yabusami comp, which can be very effective because it just tanks an insane amount of range damage. So mixing in though lots of these pikes, these Yabu. Whatever you want to call these, Yami, Bushis, and Musketeers. Skirmisher's going to do well there. Going to do very well there, as long as he can micro. Yeah, up to rods. Veteran Rodelero's coming in now. Oh, and they get another sap. And are they just going in for it? They are just going in for it. You love to see it. Hopefully we see some Minutemen pops or something. Reinforcing batches. Let's go, Mini. This is... what I'm not sure how Opti really micros this. The Yabusami need to try and tank shots from the skirmisher, but the Rodeleros are going to be a big problem for them. Really not sure how well this is going. I mean, Japan seems to be surviving. The Rodeleros, they're not known for being overly tanky, but looks like
it seems like he's using those Yamabushi in a covered mode, so that's why they're getting 55% range resist. So that's how they're just tanking for the skirm shots for that long.
Yeah, I mean, getting basically 50 range resist is absolutely insane with 201 health. And remember, these are essentially free units from the consulate. So, yeah, utilizing them really, really well by Opti, tanking a huge amount of damage. Oh, cavalry coming in. Naginata's coming in, and Rod's just about in time going to get there. And that's really, really nice.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just like nice timing from both sides. And I guess Mini's just got the better timing since his base is just nearby. But I believe another Nagi is going down surely. I don't think he will be surviving through that.
Yeah, so this is really nice micro by both sides. That one Lancer putting in some work. There's a couple of skirmishes out. More skirmishes though. Oh, and now there's pretty there's more rods coming in, but then there's more Naginata riders as well. Oh, this is close.
Oh god.
Oh wow. Okay, so I mean, I think that's fair enough by Opti. He definitely did have the advantage there, but there's probably some difficult chokes where the rods could have done insane amounts of damage there. So wanted to play it safe and back up. He is 2k score in front. So yeah, that's nice play. Wow, a huge macro for gold and wood coming in here from Mini. Maybe he's kind of run out of herds, which looking at the map he has this northern one here, but that's in a very tricky situation. These shrines are kind of guarding these herds down here. So yeah, going for a raid round here because Opti's probably thinking, well, he must be getting food from somewhere. but he's really not getting food from somewhere. So, yeah, okay. I was going to say the only thing he could realistically do is go for artillery, which looks like he's doing. Spanish gold going to help with that. But is it going to be enough? He does have a lot of rods, to be fair. What I like about this is potentially, Optimus built a lot of Yabusami, and in actual fact, they weren't really paying off, and there was no 2 Falconet shipment that ever came out. So maybe he's decided, right, I need to switch it up. I need to get some heavy cav out. I need to get some Naginata riders. They're going to be far more effective, and he's not going to actually make any counter to Falconets now. So that could be what we're seeing. And maybe that'll be really advantageous for Minimoult. But he is down in score. We'll take a quick look at Opti. Opti doing, Japan things. He's basically trying the entire map at this stage. So he's looking in a really good position.
It seemed to be fine for the moment. And I wonder, what is the next shipment? Oh, he's already moving on the farms and he's already upgrading. I guess that was necessary, considering the fact that Japanese can always raid you with the Nagis. But it's interesting that both players are just turtling inside.
Yeah, I mean, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Japan. Flaming Arrows coming out now, and I mean, they're somewhat of a counter to Falconets because they outrange them. So, Flaming Arrows act as kind of Falconets / Culverins, sort of slightly weaker than both in the same department, though. So, yeah, that's going to be a huge setback for Mini, and really the only realistic way he can counter that is with Culverins, and that's just going to be such a huge investment. Now shipping another 2 Flaming Arrows, yeah, this is looking bad for Mini, to be honest with you. He's going to have to get some lucky micro to, I think, win the next big fight. We'll take a quick look over to him. 1 Culverin is coming out. Just about missed on the second one, which is a massive shame, because I think you're going to need 2 Culverins here, really. One Culverin's not really going to be enough, and it's not going to take them down quick enough. That's going to be the biggest problem.
Yeah, he's having 3 Flaming Arrows there at the moment, and it's not like the Falcons will be able to take them out just due to the fact of the range difference on these 2 units. I guess Mini just made the right decision. He said, "This is not the time for me. I'm just pulling back."
Yeah.
I guess he did the right thing.
Yeah, and he did it at the right time because he kept all his Falconets intact, so it was perfect timing by Minimoult. However, he does need to be careful because Optimus is chasing, and rightly so. He's going to see these Flaming Arrows now. They're 5. I think there's 5 Flaming Arrows, and they're really going to do some damage. And the Falconets, they've got to unpack. They have to, otherwise they'll all get caught. But yeah, one's going to go down. Okay, really nice micro there. That's what I was talking about, why you need 2 Culverins. Otherwise, they're not going to take one down at a time. And yeah, this is going to be a problem. He's got lots of Rodaleras, but there's a lot of Musketeers out there. And these Falconets go down, those Musketeers are just going to rip through everything he's got here. Yeah, looking pretty desperate. Yeah. Looking pretty desperate for Mini here. Rod's making short work of those Flaming Arrows, though. Really nice pickup by those Rods. However, now these Culverins are going to be basically worthless.
At the same time, Opti is just trying to make some raid. He's picking a lot of settlers on the top side of the map from Mini. I guess he got like 5 or 4 settlers just now.
Yeah, really nice pickup.
God, that was really massive.
Yeah, Yabusami coming out now as well. I think this is we're going to see a GG pretty soon. I'm not really sure how Spain turns this around. He ran out of food on the map. That was his best food option. Another 2 villages are going to get picked off there. Like we said, it was a very awkward, and there's the GG. It was a very awkward food herd there, and wow, well played to Optimus. Played that really well. Minimoult, I don't think played it particularly bad. I think he was caught off at the start quite awkwardly, and lost quite a lot of those early Musketeers, which cost a lot of tempo. Therefore, he really wasn't able to pressure Optimus at any stage of the game. He wasn't able to pressure his eco, pressure those villagers, which were pretty relatively exposed the entire game here. So yeah, GG, well played to Optimus, playing that well.
Yeah, and all those people who voted for Mini is just a real sad moment. They just lost a lot of points.
Yeah, if we take a look at all resources gathered, it was pretty close, but Japan it's a good map for Japan. They can go very wide on the map. They can build lots of shrines very wide, which makes it very difficult for some civilizations to kind of really get out on the map and siege, particularly when you've got 4.5 speed Ashigaru musketeers that can cover them pretty quickly. So yeah, well played to Optimus. Japan did Japan things. I feel like Minimoult should have just gone for an FF. I really feel like an FF just would have been so much safer. I'm not really sure why he decided to play Age 2. It's very risky. I feel like maybe that was a mistake like he played with the Ottoman versus Brit game. Maybe he should have just gone for the FF and kind of gone from there. But, that's Minimoult's style. It's paid off this series, but unfortunately that game, it didn't. Is that the last game? Or have we got another game, Jager?
Well, I mean, we could potentially continue, but I guess we can at the same time just pass it over to Len, I guess, because I believe that there is still games going on. So
Yeah, well, I'll be
I mean,
happy
we
to.
have been live for just 6 hours.
Yeah, and we had some issues at the start, so yeah, I will be happy to
Yeah.
leave it there. So, am I? Is there anything I'm particularly doing, like raiding? Or I don't know if I can raid.
I guess let me check if Len is going to be. I mean, is he ready to cast on ESOC or not? And then I guess after that we can just decide what to do.
Okay. Yeah, really well played to Optian and Minimoult there. It's a shame we couldn't finish off the series, but yeah, I think my so far of this of the tournament, my MVP probably has been Minimoult. Some of his, like the French game particularly, some of his build orders have been absolutely phenomenal, really meticulous and down to the very T. And some of his games have been something we've never seen before, and not only have we not seen him before, but he's played it at a very high level. Really explored the new maps, the new European maps, explored the new native TPs, understood what all their techs do, understood the abilities of some of the synergy as well that they have with native cards, like we saw